Hi, my name's Ray Arzaga, and I am a creative, and you're watching Creative Minds. Oh man, if I could be Naruto or Goku, which one would I be? Between those two characters, I gotta say Naruto, man. I know previously I would have said Goku, but I've been watching so much Naruto over the pandemic that it's like, it's gotta be, it's gotta be this character. Yeah. So if aliens landed in front of me and offered me any position that I wanted on their planet in exchange for anything I desire, I'd want superpowers. I need to have some kind of godly powers so that they wouldn't be able to, I don't know, keep me as a prisoner on their planet, when they say, you could have any position and then they screw you over and then they harvest your organs or clone you or whatever. I need to be able to defend myself, have like a position of power. Because you're going into the unknown, you kind of want to be ready. What kind of superpowers would I want? Okay, are we talking one superpower or like multiple superpowers? Like the ones that I like. So assuming that we don't have to obey the laws of physics or any of that. Teleportation is number one. Flight would be awesome if you didn't like freeze once you reached a certain height. I'm a sucker for time control. Like rewinding time, freezing time. I really dig that kind of stuff. But for actually, you know what? Time control is probably the most convenient one because you can like predict stuff and then just take advantage of everything, like the lottery. But teleportation, I think, is the most useful in like daily life. I need to get somewhere, just teleport. But then, no, we're not talking about physics, so we're good. Yeah, teleportation, teleportation, time travel, and flight, for sure. What is the most cliche and stupid question I've heard? About myself, I presume. What's your real name? But like, what's your real name? Like your real name. I get that a lot. That's a really dumb question. The name I gave you is the name that I have. It's usually that. What would I choose as my last meal? First, it would have been like a really juicy steak, but I've decided that it has to be seafood related. So it would probably be lobster, just like a thick lobster with, I sound really passionate right now. Yeah, like a thick lobster with garlic butter and lemon, 100%. I'm a sucker for seafood. How would I explain a database in 3 sentences to my 8-year-old nephew? Ooh, nice. I want to use the word database. That's the problem. Okay. It is a lot of information that is stored somewhere, period. That's one sentence. People can save this information so they can go back and get it later, period. I don't have a third sentence. I don't have a third sentence. It's very useful, nephew. What makes me happy? Through the pandemic, I've been thinking about, happiness a lot. And I think it's I know at this moment that it's 100% the freedom to not have any boundaries, to be able to do things freely without having someone tell me no. Yeah, that's definitely it. Freedom. Freedom is happiness, not money. Freedom. What did I want to be when I was 10? So I have to create a timeline because I wanted to be a lot of things. By that time, my soul was already crushed, so it couldn't have been that. One of the first things I wanted to be was an archaeologist, to like find dinosaur bones and stuff. And then my family was like, you're never going to find bones. Why would you do that? The ground is frozen up here in Canada. And I was like, all right. So I had to adjust. I think at 10, I wanted to be an illustrator, like a cartoonist, the ones who would draw those cartoons for newspapers and such. I think I wanted to be that. No, I'm sorry. It was astronaut. I wanted to go to space at 10, definitely. I was getting into astronomy at that age. It's astronaut. I am not an astronaut. I'm here. Yeah, it's sad. If I could go back to my younger self, what advice would I give to young Ray? I think about this a lot. I think I would tell my younger self to trust in his instincts because I know that I had made multiple correct calls, let's say, as a kid. But when you have these adults show up with like a huge door and they're like, no, you can't go in this direction, it's kind of discouraging. And looking like now at this current age, when I look back, it's like, oh man, all those decisions would have been great. Like, okay, here's a quick story. I was not great at school, but when it came to genetics, I was a beast. Why? Because I had this twisted dream that I would create a clone army of myself. And I was really getting into cloning, and my teacher was like, you should never get into that kind of thing. Like, genetics is a waste of your time. Stem cells is a myth. Cloning is not, it's immoral. None of this should ever happen. Whatever. And now the genetic, what's it called? 23andMe, or like Ancestry and all that stem cell research. Stem cells, like, amazing. And like looking back at it, and I'm like, damn, Madame Rezetti, you're an ass. Like, I could have been something, you know, but instead you said no. And I was like, okay, I'll believe you. You're the adult, you know? So yeah, I would tell my younger self to like, if there's something that he's really passionate about, to push for it, and to not necessarily ignore the adults, but like keep in mind what they have to say, but to just continue doing it, you know? Madame Rezetti died, so I could never tell her that she was an ass. I had asked about her. I was like, hey, whatever happened to this teacher? Oh, she died. And I was like, damn, I'm never gonna get my, like, you know, that moment where I could be like, look at what you made me. You know, that's never gonna happen, so I have to live with it. But young Ray, though, he has a chance. He has a chance. Where do I see myself in 20 years? This is gruesome. I think I'm gonna be dead. I actually think so. With like all the stuff that's happening, I'm like it's such a I guess pessimistic way of seeing things, but every time something bad happens in the world, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna die in, like, I have my own personal doomsday clock. So it's in 10 years, I'm gonna be dead, and now it's like within 2 years, the world's gonna explode, or like something ridiculous is gonna happen. So I wanna say that, but if I do survive, I'd be 51. I won't have any kids. I would be sharing my experiences with the younger generation for sure. Like, not necessarily like a teacher, but, you know, kind of show them the cool things that they could be doing at their age. All the things that I went through so they don't have to go through all that crazy shit. What am I the most proud of? I want to say the ability that I've acquired to stand up from all the various trips and falls that have occurred throughout my life. It's funny, I thought I would talk about things creatively, like on an artistic level. Like, this one project made me super proud, but I'm never proud of my projects. I don't think a lot of creative people are proud of their projects, really, because it forces us to move forward. You know, if you dwell on something, then like you'll just stick to it. That's my opinion. But all the messed up stuff that has happened, technically what I should be is I should be some kind of like messed up junkie at this point, but I'm thankful for the people around me that have, you know, supported me and inspired me, and that it does make me feel proud to have been able to get up and continue, especially with this career path, or like this life path that I've chosen. So yeah, if I was a god, what would I do to the world? I wouldn't be a good god. I'm like those petty Greek gods, you know, the ones who are like, oh, you did this to me? Cool. I'm gonna turn your wife into a cow or something messed up like that. I would probably do that kind of like, yeah, I would probably mess around with people in that way. I know that the common answer would be like, I would create peace in the world. I don't think that's possible, because there needs to be difference for there needs to be like individuality, so no one's ever gonna agree on stuff. So, okay, you know what? I'll be nice. Let's see. Get rid of like the famine and, you know, the disease and all that other stuff. Make sure everyone's comfortable, like create a sustainable system. Yeah, but otherwise beyond that, it's like, I'm gonna be straight up vigilante. Like, oh, you did this thing on my scale of justice. That's a lightning bolt, my friend. Like, you're out of here. Yeah, deliverer of karma is what I would be. Yeah. Do I have one Chuck Norris joke? Okay, this is the one that I remember the most. It's just so absurd to me. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the world down. It's just the one that comes up like immediately. I know there are better ones. It's just the one that I think of, right? Because it sounds so absurd.
Never heard that one.
Okay, so if I was a bicycle, what part would I be? Dang, I need a second. Okay, definitely. What are the parts? There's the wheel. There's the wheel. There's a frame. There's the gear system. And what's the I was thinking guidon, but what is it in English? The guidon thing, the thing that you use to steer. I wouldn't be that because that's too much responsibility. Frame, no. The gear system, maybe, or the brakes. I think I would be the gear system. The gear system is awesome because you could switch speeds. And then there's the gears. The gear system is what makes everything interesting for a bike, in my opinion. Yeah, so you can choose to go fast or slow. Yeah, 100% gear system. And gear is a sick word. It's cool. It's not like guidon. Like guidon's not whatever. Sorry if you're a guidon person watching. You can guide on. Delete that. That was a shitty pun.